Anthony on Air Podcast, welcome in for another episode. Plenty to talk about, including this crazy revelation going on that Sarah Ferguson once got bailed out by Jeffrey Epstein and is now defending her ex, Prince Andrew. Plus, the judge overseeing the Ghislaine Maxwell case is warning her lawyers. The My Pillow guy is fighting with Fox News. The Justice Department says that the IRS must hand over Trump's tax returns to Congress. Q's new favorite topic is John McAfee. And we're going to talk about vaccines. Disney and Walmart mandating vaccines for employees today. Chris Cuomo did an interview that went completely off the rails. And speaking of which, Laura Ingrahm and Alan Dershowitz were talking about the vaccines, and their interview kind of went completely off the rails. So we'll share that audio and video with you guys in just a little bit. And we've got a JSABS update. We've got a Frankie C update. And Indeed. If you had to choose one ice cream, when the ice cream truck pulls up, which would you choose? We'll pop this back up at the end of the show so you guys can see it, and we'll talk about what our favorite ice cream is since we are halfway through the summer. Frankie C. Here he is.
Choices there.
Fresh off of denying the vaccine to an LGBTQ member, Frankie C. himself joins us. How are you, my friend?
Hilarious. I would do no such thing. Everyone get the vaccine, please. That's my stance on that.
Sarah Ferguson. This is a little insane. I didn't know this, but she's out hawking a new book called Her Heart for a Compass. So she's doing the rounds. She's going around telling everybody. Couple of years ago, she had a public dispute with a former personal assistant named Johnny O'Sullivan over $100,000 salary. She had no way of paying off that money. She turned to none other than Jeffrey Epstein, who helped settle the issue, restructured her debt, and got O'Sullivan to agree to a $20,000 settlement when he was owed $100,000, and he paid off the tab for her as well.
That's something. I would want to talk to this O'Sullivan guy. How did he settle for $20,000?
Yeah, I know.
What did Epstein say to him?
I would love to know that. Prince Andrew arranged the entire thing. In 2011, this whole deal came to light. This was after the first Epstein arrest in 07, 08, 09, whatever that was. And she did publicly apologize for it, saying, quote, "I personally, on behalf of myself, deeply regret that Jeffrey Epstein became involved in any way with me. I abhor pedophilia and any abuse of children and know that this was a gigantic error in judgment on my behalf. I am just so contrite I cannot say."
Okay.
We know that Andrew was tied to Epstein. We've got lots of podcast episodes about that. You could run down our playlist on Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, shows that we've done.
Maybe get drunk first.
What?
Maybe get drunk before going through all that playlist.
A little depressing, but if that's your thing, go through it all. But Ferguson is still standing by the royal family. No matter how poorly they've treated her in the past, she's doubling down on her loyalty in her latest rounds of press on Good Morning America by sharing that she is the #1 fan of the monarchy and believes in the extraordinary steadfastness of the Queen. She said that she wanted to make sure everybody understood that she stands by Prince Andrew, even though they divorced in 1996, saying, quote, "He is a great man, and our wedding day was the best day of my life. I would do it all over again because he was a very good-looking sailor, but I fell in love with him, and I think love conquers all."
I mean, all right. I mean, she only knew him, I guess, up until they got divorced. I don't know how close they remained after that, but stand by your man kind of thing. I don't know.
I guess so, but this guy's #1 creeper, and he's our Clinton.
Rough.
He is our Bill Clinton. He is the #1 creeper in that country, and she's all like, "Oh, I do it all over again." That was I mean, what are you gonna say? I married a pedo and I made a huge mistake. I mean,
alleged.
Yeah, very.
I don't know.
Here's looking at you, Queenie. Don't sue me. Allegedly pedo.
Alleged.
But yeah, I mean, I would just be like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
rough. How do you? I mean, you go one of two ways. I mean, you either back them 100% or you completely turn your back on them, and it's what happened. I don't know. I mean,
I've turned
maybe
my
she
back.
genuinely feels like he's a good. I don't know. Maybe she feels that it's all wrong. I don't know. I don't know what she could be thinking. Maybe she kept close with him. Maybe she hasn't talked to him in years. I don't know how you could stand by some.
I've turned my back on exes for far less. For far
Well,
less.
yeah. How do
I
you? I mean,
mean,
this isn't Seinfeld. We're not inviting Elaine over. You don't hang out. How often do you hang out with your ex?
are you? I mean, zero. I have zero contact
Me
with
too.
every one of my exes. I have not stayed friends with any of them. I believe some of them watch this.
Really?
I've been led to believe that. You know who you are. But
All two of you. No, I don't know. But I agree. I mean, there were some that you leave on good terms, but you don't see them, you don't talk to them. You
I
don't
have
hang.
no animosity for any of
Yeah,
them. But I don't know. I'm a hard guy to get over, Frank.
that's why I never left you.
Do you talk to any of your exes?
No, not a
Would
one.
you defend any of them if they were accused of
That's
pedophilia?
that's rough. I don't know. I don't think so.
Here's the thing with Andrew, though. It's
I'm like,
not only
who?
that he was
Never heard of her.
It's not only that he was accused. He was accused, acted like it never happened in a public interview, and then the interviewer was like, "What about this picture where you're with the girl that accused you?" He's like, "I don't remember that." And it's like, what?
It's rough. It ain't a good position that he's in.
At least look, Clinton's a piece of shit too, but at least he never had that moment. That was like a huge folly in the Prince Andrew saga.
It's not great. I don't know how you defend. I'm sure there's going to be a handful of people that will still defend him no matter what. But it's not easy. She must really love the guy.
Do you don't talk to any of your exes? Have you ever
No,
like
ever.
ran into them or they messaged or
Not
whatever?
not in recent years at all. Man, last time I saw an ex. Last time I saw an ex, I don't even. It's got to be well before I was even married.
Who are these people that are friends with their exes? I don't even get it.
Weirdos. I'm kidding.
And then you got some people that are like not only friends with their exes, but then their like new significant other is like friends with them too. I don't even know how that happens.
You want to talk weird? My dad. I don't know if you. I mean, my mother is best friends with my dad's ex-wife. So they're both his ex-wife,
Right.
his ex-wives, and they're now best friends. And my mother lives like on the same block as my dad, so it's a small area.
Yeah,
And
they've
they're
got to
all-
get out of that neighborhood. I
It's a
keep telling
weird
you
thing.
that.
I know.
It's a weird neighborhood to be a
I
part
don't
of.
know what's going on.
But
That's why.
let me
Say it.
fill that in for everybody. Your father, his second wife,
So my father and my mother were divorced when I was very young.
right,
My father remarried, then divorced,
right.
and now
He
my
is
mom,
now he is now on to wife 3.
wife 3, marriage
you're-
4.
You're talking
Married my mother twice. Divorced my mom, then remarried.
I love this story. People are not going to think we're making this up for
No.
show fodder.
Not. So yeah. So my father married my mom, divorced. Married my mom again, divorced. Married my ex stepmother,
Yeah.
divorced. Is now married to number 3.
So
And
one
my
and
mom-
two,
One and
one
2
is
are
your
best
mom,
friends. My mom
are now
and
best
my
friends.
ex stepmother are now best friends.
Yeah.
And
That's
very
bizarre.
strange. So family functions are kind of weird.
Christmas is just a laugh riot.
So let's just say there's a lot of stops on the Christmas train. We don't. It's not all in one house. I'll tell you that much.
Frank's Christmas looks like a fucking Amtrak map.
It's really. I'm never in a house for more than 20 minutes. I stop in, I have a little cannoli, and I leave.
Are you
Like, all right.
confused after a while? You're like, where am I?
I
Which
walked
one
into
is
a
this?
stranger's house. I was like, this could be right. It's like a 50-50 shot. This is right.
Were you married to my father? Hi, ma'am. Were you?
I was at your wedding. My dad, right? No, all
I
right.
could have sworn you were a stepmom. No. All right. I'm sorry. I got the wrong house.
Next door, probably.
All right. That's strange. Did they bond over their mutual hatred for your father? Is that what? Is that where
Probably. I don't think they hate. Maybe. I don't know. I think they just bonded. I don't even know how. It's a good question. I don't know how they ended up becoming such good friends. I mean, they're great. They hang out every week. They talk all the time. They're both his exes.
Here's what's weird about this too, because I mean, obviously I've known you for a long time. It's not like the friendship was like immediate. This is relatively recently, like last 5-10 years, right? Like,
I'd say within the last 4 or 5 years.
yeah, that's what I thought.
And yeah, my dad has been divorced from my stepmother for at least 10 years. I don't even know, maybe more than that. But yeah, it's a complicated mess in my family.
Well, at least you're not the Royals. At least your dad's
So
not a pedo. I could say
Right.
I could attest to that, which is
Right.
good.
I
Which
mean,
is good.
I've stopped sending out Christmas cards because I just can't keep track anymore.
Well, I mean, who could afford it with the amount of?
I can't do that much harm to the Amazon rainforest. I just can't afford. The environment would suffer greatly.
Even Bill Gates would have a hard time writing that check to cover all those stamps.
Every time I send out another round of Christmas cards, you got what's his name? Al Gore sheds a tear. He films another documentary every time I do it. It's bad.
A new tear in the ozone layer.
Yeah. Frankie C's Christmas is damaging America and damaging the world. It's not good.
Oh shit, that's
That's
hysterical.
why everybody gets Evites now.
That's friggin' great, man. I mean, I know it's your personal family and could be painful at times, but it is very funny for the show. Very, very funny.
You're welcome. Glad I could help. None taken. Don't worry.
All right, let's get into the Ghislaine thing. But first, don't forget to shopanthonyonair.com. This is how you can support the podcast and pull some nice threads for yourself. We've got some great designs, including our microphone, the Show Me Potato Salad box. We've got our 1994 shirt, which anybody who's like 30 or 40 buys. I don't think anybody outside of that age range buys that 1994 shirt.
Great year, 1994.
Best year for music, best year for movies. There was that crazy thing. I think we talked or I think I might have posted it. The albums that came out 41 days.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, there was like a Nirvana, Metallica, Pearl Jam,
Guns N'
Roses, and another one, Soundgarden maybe.
Maybe Soundgarden, yeah.
Came out within how many days in that year?
41 days of each other, and it's crazy.
That was a.
It might have been
that was a hell of a year.
1991 though, not 1994. I think.
I don't know.
I forget
Could
what
have
it
been.
was.
I can't remember when.
A lot of drugs. But
Right.
it was crazy to see all of those albums. But you know what though? The same thing happens like when you go back and you look at like Pet Sounds and Sergeant.
Oh yeah.
Sergeant Pepper. Like those guys were all the Stones, the Beatles, the Beach Boys. They were all throwing out shit within weeks with each other.
It was 91. Whoops. Got to make a 91 shirt now.
Yeah, we'll have to do that anyway.
Get to work on it.
By the 1994 shirt, it'd be like 3 years ago. It was even better.
Boom.
Anyway, we've got so many great things for the ladies. We've got kids stuff. I think we even have pet stuff. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's good. All the different colors. That's good stuff.
Sweatshirts, hoodies,
Onesies.
Grab some merch that supports the podcast. And of course, like I said, you get some nice threads for yourself.
Right.
All right. So the Ghislaine Maxwell case, quick update here. You know, when Cosby got let out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, one of Maxwell's lawyers, David Marcus, said that the overturning of Cosby's sexual assault conviction justified ending Maxwell's prosecution. And now they're being warned by the judge. This is Allison Nathan, who's in Manhattan, and she's overseeing the whole thing. Marcus' opinion piece, he wrote a whole opinion piece in the Daily News, Prosecutors are now saying that violated a court rule against lawyers making extrajudicial statements that could taint the jury pool. Marcus said he was not subject to the rule because he was not part of Maxwell's defense team, but the judge noted that Marcus had worked on Maxwell's appeals from bail denials and identified himself as her lawyer when communicating with the press and in the opinion piece. Nathan wrote, "These facts mean that the public, which includes potential jurors, may perceive Mr. Marcus as an authoritative source of information regarding the pending matter and may readily consider his remarks to be accurate and reliable." The judge also said that any lawyers in Maxwell's case, including prosecutors, could be disciplined for violating the court rule. Marcus did not respond for comment. So stern warning there from the judge to keep this all under control.
Good advice.
I feel like for a while there, Frank, we thought like, oh, like this.
I think you need to back us off a little bit here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. Oh, it's horrific.
There we go.
Look at this hair, though. I mean, is this not... Look at that.
Talk about Amazon.
Is that not the greatest hair in podcasting? I mean, give me a break.
That is... You could stop a bullet with that hair.
Even fucking Joe Rogan is jealous, that bald fuck.
More like Joe Rogaine. I don't know.
I like Joe Rogan. He's a good guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Nice guy.
Sure.
Where do you want to go next? Trump taxes?
Dealer's choice. My pillow. What's that idiot up to?
Who doesn't love them? My Pillow guy is quickly becoming one of my favorite people ever.
I don't understand. I can't. The guy makes pillows. Come on. I get, yeah, everybody's allowed to be, have a voice. I get it. But anybody taking serious political advice or, not advice, but...
Are you just nervous because we're getting close to the deadline where he's going to release that information and Biden is going to resign and President Trump is going to come back?
Why is there a deadline? Why doesn't he just release it?
He's holding on because you guys sell tickets.
I see. Tickets to what?
It's not. He's releasing it at an event. Remember, he's hosting that like event.
Oh, okay, got it. Hey, if they resign, I don't know what I can't even.
Frank, if you can reveal the greatest fraudulent event in human history, why give it away for free when you can sell 1,500 tickets to an event in Arizona?
Sure. However, why would Mike Lindell have this groundbreaking historical information and nobody in the government has it?
Because he invented the best pillow. And that's how you get results, my friend.
I'll give you that. So even if they resigned, let's say they both resigned,
yes.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
There is no way it goes to Trump. It does not.
Well,
Pelosi would be president.
Constitutionally, that's correct. But
yeah,
we're living in different times.
Oh, okay. So we just don't listen to the Constitution anymore. Got it.
In fact, Biden and Harris losing could possibly be the worst thing in the world. Like President Pelosi, I don't think anybody's going to survive that shit.
I was going to say something, but...
There's a reason why that squirrel's been left in the Congress for so long and never really took those big steps.
I'll take it over the last one.
Some people were meant to fundraise and some people were meant to govern. I'll let you decide which she's really good at.
Some people were meant to bankrupt casinos.
And it's not the governing.
Oh.
Bankrupt casinos. Can't we just shit on Pelosi for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Getting mad
Let's shit on Pelosi.
All right.
She sucks.
The chief executive of MyPillow Inc., one of Fox News' biggest advertisers, said he is pulling his ads from the network after a disagreement over a proposed commercial. Lindell said he made the decision after Fox News declined to run a commercial linked to his efforts to promote his claims of widespread fraud in the 2020 presidential election. Security and election officials have said there is no proof of widespread election fraud.
This is such a money grab. It's such a blatant... Because, number one, if this were true, Trump would have released it a long time ago. Trump would have let me see it. Lindell would have went, here. And Trump would have went, yeah, I'm going public with this right now. Or he would have had his own event.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about the 1,500 tickets they're trying to sell at Arizona.
To Lindell's thing,
Yeah,
not Trump's thing. Trump would have made it his own thing.
right.
If this was a real thing, Trump would take hold of it and say, I've got this thing thanks to Mike Lindell and whoever else, and here it is. Or I'm going to make a huge announcement like he did. Remember, I don't even remember what the hell the announcement was. Oh, a big announcement on Monday. I'm going to have a press conference. Barack Obama was born in America. That's it. Remember that? He had
No.
this huge thing. Yeah, it was at the end of the whole birther thing when he was, a giant racist and said Barack Obama wasn't born in the country. Let's see your birth certificate. Then they showed him his birth certificate, and he came out and goes, Barack Obama was born in this country. That's it.
Wait.
And that was the big announcement.
Oh, so that was him admitting that he was wrong? When
Yeah.
was this? Years ago?
Beginning of his before he was elected. I think it was while he was running. It was
He
like-
got a lot of mileage off that birther thing. That was a big thing. That
which
was early.
based in bullshit.
That was that was early Q / conspiracy theory / the world is lying to us / all
Yeah,
that stuff.
doesn't ask for anybody else's birth certificate. Just the guy who looks like someone else. I don't know. Looks like he doesn't come from where you want him to come from. So it's like, why? It's that kind of shit. I'm sorry.
Somebody
Rant
tweeted,
over.
somebody tweeted the other day that it was the anniversary of the Obama tan suit,
Oh God,
and I was like, I remember that, and that was like the
what a
biggest
controversy.
story ever.
That was like, do we really want a president who wears tan suits? That's my Tucker Carlson.
I think we need a president that wears like. First of all, our presidential
Hawaiian shirts.
fashion sucks balls. Like
It's all suits. It's regular suits.
But it's all blue and dark suits all the time. Dark gray, blue suits. Like
I'd rather have that than a guy wearing like the Riddler's outfit. Like question marks all over him. Give me a guy in
No,
a suit
But I think
or a
ever,
woman in a nice outfit.
what was that? What was the Kings of Comedy? That's when you had Bernie Mac and you had D.L. Hughley and who's the other guy who hosts Family Feud now?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey suits. Like we need Steve. Like he would be like red, like all. Just
I don't
bright
think
red
Biden
suit.
could pull that off.
No, Biden can't. But well, might put it on by accident because he forgets who he is. But I'm just saying, like in general, like we need more. We need some style in the White House.
You'd think there would be a fashion person, like a
Yeah,
wardrobe image consultant.
there is for if you're on TV. There is. Why isn't there for if
Which-
you're president?
The president's on TV a lot.
A ton. The
should
president
be-
should have a fashion.
Someone,
Yes,
an
agreed.
advisor or what is it called? Image consultant. Someone who fixes his hair.
Agreed.
Shave, make sure he's all clean and neat.
Because I'm going to say something, and this is a stereotype, but I feel like whoever is picking the presidential outfits, the last 46 presidents have all been straight, and I think that's where we got to make a
Got to
change.
change. Change is needed.
Straight people have no style. Sorry,
Present company included.
that is. I am the shining
mean-
example of that.
If it's not a Metallica shirt, it's a Metallica shirt.
Yeah, we need to get some gay fashionistas in this fucking
If
White
it's not a
House.
Metallica shirt, it's a Christmas shirt in July.
God, I hate you for that. Fox News released a statement saying it's unfortunate Mr. Lindell has chosen to pause his commercial time on Fox News given the level of success he's experienced in building his brand through advertising on the #1 cable news network. Lindell said he wanted to cancel the ads as soon as possible.
See ya. Bye-bye.
This guy's
Where's he gonna go?
Kill his company. I'm telling you, he's going to just.
He's
I
not.
don't
gonna,
know.
I don't know. He's more popular now than he was when he was just the pillow guy. He could probably go on any. What are the other ones? OAN or. There's a
This
couple
reminds me
others.
of. Do you remember? Did you see The People versus Larry Flint? The movie.
Parts of it. I really didn't sit down and watch it.
It's like at one point he caught this like religious bug and he was just doing all this like religious stuff and like that's all he wanted to do, and nobody was buying his nudie magazine anymore. I feel like this is the same thing. It's like just focus on your fucking pillows, man. Like
I've got to take a weird side street into politics, some
Yeah.
sort of, and prove that a fraud happened that didn't happen.
Where does this end? That's what I want to know. Like, where does this end with this guy?
This ends after his bullshit event falls flat and he has nothing left.
Okay, and I want because I want to be fair too, and I don't have the story in front of me, but I did see the other day that Twitter there are two Twitter accounts because they're doing this recount in Arizona. I want to be fair because people keep yelling at me about this recount in Arizona.
Okay.
I'm keeping my eye on it. Like, I the odds. I'm a gambler, Frank. You know this. I've lost far too much money in Atlantic City with you to know that I don't know how to fucking put odds on something. Just because I lose all the time doesn't mean I don't know how to put odds on it.
Right.
The odds that they're finding whatever they need to find to overturn the entire election in Arizona are very, very small. But I will say that there was a Twitter account. I think it was the GOP's Arizona Twitter account, whatever. They created a Twitter account to follow the progress of the recounts. And Twitter banned 2 of the accounts.
Why?
And I don't know why. And you know what? I saw it and I kind of just, I noted it and I just kind of moved on with my day. But
the only thing I could think of is if they were spreading lies, like we're going to find
claims.
this fraud and
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
But the
That's
thing
not
is
reporting.
the thing is though, it's that like, I don't know, like Twitter, I wish they wouldn't do this because it makes it look worse. Like, let these people talk about whatever they need to talk about. Let it find more people and let it be investigated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like you can't really. I feel like this isn't the right move. They're not achieving what they want to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Because they can create new accounts, or they're inflaming this separation more because what became of this was all of the right-wing people going, look, see, they're trying to keep the truth down. They're trying to do all this and that, and it just makes it worse. Just let them tweet whatever they want. There was like 17,000 followers on the account or whatever it was. And it wasn't just some crazy in his basement, which I'm against. I mean, he has the right to do it, but I'm just saying, you write those people off quick. It was the people that were doing, it was the people that were there monitoring the situation.
Right. But if they started spouting off like someone else who got banned did, then they got to do the same thing or else it's a different standard. If they ban Trump for going on and with lies and spreading false information, if they ban him for that, they got to ban other leaders for that or other, right? I mean, they got to be consistent, I would say.
I guess so, but
who are they to say which one is? But
again, I think
there's
they're
no
making
proof.
it worse.
There's more proof of it not being fraud than there is of being
I think they're making it worse. They're still doing, like, here's the thing. The counts, those recounts, they're still happening.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So news is going to get whatever they discover or don't discover or whatever disputes they continue to have, it's going to come out. So just let them fucking tweet about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Do we have an estimated time on when this is going to be done with?
never.
Cool.
This will never be
4
done,
years.
Frank.
4 years from now.
I could put it in. How do you want me to put it? In years or future ex-wives of your father? How do you want to?
The second one. That's more fun.
3.5 more ex-wives. That's
Solid.
fucking so
Solid.
unfair. Your dad's a great guy. He never did anything wrong to me, but it still was funny. You got to admit. But I still feel bad about it. That's the point. Trump and his tax returns. The Justice Department told the Treasury Department that it must turn over former President Donald Trump's tax returns to the House of Ways and Means Committee, which first requested them more than 2 years ago. The direction came in an opinion released today by the Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel, which provides legal advice to the executive branch. The chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee has invoked sufficient reasons for the requesting of the former president's tax information. Under the department's interpretation of federal law, according to the opinion, Treasury must furnish the information to the committee. I feel like we just talked about the right's crazy side and how they're running down this crazy rumor and there's nothing going to come of it. And I feel like this is the left side of, like, we've got to get Trump's tax returns and That'll reveal all, and this will be the thing to put him in jail so he can't run again. I just don't see it.
I don't know why is he hiding it so much? I
I
don't either way. They don't release him. They do release him. My whole thing was he said he was going to release him, and he hasn't. That's the guy who claims. It's just another false thing. That's
well,
for me.
have they finished the audit? Maybe he's still under.
Oh,
that
the audit. This 5-year audit. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Which has no bearing on releasing any returns.
Yeah, I'm not saying I believe his bullshit. I just don't think that you're gonna find in here that smoking gun.
Once the audit's over, I'll release the returns. That's it.
You want to know do you want to know the truth? Do you want to know what I really think it is?
Tell me.
I think he's got stuff on there that won't look great, but won't put him in jail. And I
Probably
think he
not.
never released it because he didn't want to not look great during the election.
Exactly. He probably doesn't have as much money as he says he does.
Or whatever it is. I don't even know.
Whatever it is. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. Whatever
and then
it is.
when he got in, there was no point. And then I thought it was just something that he could dig at the Democrats for, that he enjoyed doing, and they was still going crazy.
You think it was like, here, look at this, look at this, look at this while I do this, and this?
No, I think it was more like, let me bring up the tax returns again and be like, yeah, whatever.
He doesn't bring it up.
Yeah, but I know he doesn't. Not like he obviously, but whenever he was asked about it, he would go with that study. He would say he was going to release them when the audit was up, knowing full well he never was. It was just his way to screw with trigger the people that are so hypersensitive to this
Maybe,
shit.
but it's like, why wouldn't you release it then? What's wrong? Every president for the last, I don't know, 40 years, whatever it is, has released them. What's the problem?
Well, now isn't it? I think they made it a rule now that you have to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So if he runs again in 2024, he's got to be prepared to release them. No?
That's a great point. I didn't think about that.
I mean,
Yeah.
if he's going to run again, if he wins,
I guess he would have to.
now here they are. I mean, you got 4 years to doctor them up. Whatever you're going to do with them.
All right. Lucky for us, we have a tax return expert, and that's Jay Sapp.
Got to be Jay
Oh, yeah.
Saps.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Can I be honest with you, Frank? Best tax
No.
returns I've ever seen.
Best. They're beautiful
Ever.
tax returns.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're the most beautiful returns you've ever seen.
They're neat and compiled. And let me just say this as we bring in Janine. You look lovely tonight. Somebody goes, Aunt, your co-host looks so beautiful. Like what? I got no fucking feelings? You can't throw some shit my way? I mean, I'm aware of what I look like, but at least lie to me and be nice about it.
At least say the both of you look good tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
I feel a little left out.
Well, you weren't on the show that I'm talking about.
I was
I'm
just the
saying.
last show.
This
Okay.
was the last show. They were like, Aunt, your co-host is so beautiful. And I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
Enough. And I don't want her getting a big head. And also I have
Right.
feelings.
Yeah. When we all know this is the
Don't
biggest head
worry.
on the
Don't
show.
worry. A comment before definitely made up for that.
Which comment?
I thought she was good. Oh God, it's from one of my the same guy who keeps friend requesting me on Facebook, over and over. At least now, from the comments I made the other night, he's not going to friend request me anymore. So I won.
Yikes.
I definitely won.
All right. John McAfee has become the focus of Q.
Johnny Mac.
Ooh.
Basically, it's taken over. And so here's the other thing to my point about the Twitter thing. I feel like everybody is matriculating over to Telegram. You know what Telegram is? It's like
Is that
Oh,
thing
yeah.
they used 100 years ago to message people?
yes. It's like a texting app. But you could follow people. It's like a private Twitter, I guess you could say, too.
Ooh.
They offering something different? I don't get it.
Well, it's not public.
Oh, you could just.
It-
So it's a
see-
group. It's like just like a group text messaging thing.
Yeah, and it's like we talk about when we talk about Parler and Frank and all these other things. It's like it's just not big enough yet for people to care to want to shut it down. Telegram is big, but not as big as the other social media networks, so nobody's shutting them down yet.
Do you have
but
to write stop after every sentence?
It's not that kind of.
No, different Telegram. Okay.
I bring this up because it turns out that McAfee wasn't running his social media accounts when he was in prison.
Which kind
How
of
could he? How could he though?
Oh, if you
Yeah.
have like a break, or if you have like an hour of computer time or time with
If you
your
get computer
lawyers,
time though, right?
Yeah,
if you
well,
get
that's
computer
what we
time,
thought.
or if like your family does it for you, his wife could have done it. We were thinking that he was writing the messages in pencil or pen and then giving them to someone to
Oh, maybe.
put them out, but which is what the quote unquote suicide note
Right.
looked like.
That's what the wife. That's why the wife was like, "That was just a tweet."
But my thing is, if he has people, I mean, you got to be someone of significant means to have a company or people putting your social media out for you, right? So doesn't that go against the he was broke at the time thing?
It would, yes.
He's on a yacht.
Yeah.
He has people doing his social media for him. I don't think he was broke or as broke as they say.
And no, he could. Yeah, because even those are just rumors. When we talk about that, those are just rumors that he didn't have
Right.
any money.
Right.
And that was the one guy who wrote that book, that was writing that book with him, that he said that he lost all his money in the 09 or 08 collapse.
Right.
But they're saying that there's like over 130,000 people in these Telegram rooms that are talking that McAfee is still alive.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that he
You're gonna
faked
think
his
this is
own
weird.
death.
My wife actually told me this a week or so ago.
Did you
She
hear
was
it on
like-
Telegram?
She did not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she read it somewhere, but she was like, the thing is, they're not saying he's dead. They're saying he didn't kill himself.
Oh,
So-
she's right.
Could he still be alive? So they're not saying John
He
McAfee.
died.
You know, they keep the term everybody keeps using is he didn't kill himself. He didn't kill himself. He didn't kill himself. They're not saying, you know what I mean? Like they
No.
keep saying, okay.
I don't know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
There might be implying that he didn't kill himself because he's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Just a
Got it.
theory. Again, it goes along with what you're saying about him maybe being alive.
Well, let's see. So anyway, all these Telegram followers now, they're pushing, they're saying this is similar to QAnon ramblings, that at one point there was a countdown clock that had everybody up in a tizzy. And of course, that countdown clock reached the end and nothing ever happened. People are still holding on to that Q
Well,
thing.
Man,
The
we should
thing
just
of-
put a countdown clock for no reason. Just have it count down, see how many people go for it, and nothing happens at the end.
We should.
I like it.
What were you going to say, Janine?
Yeah, Jane, sorry.
So they did the QAnon documentary, but like, it's not over. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
usually they do something, like they do a documentary about something that happened in the past and it's over. Like, this is not over.
Yeah, it's
So,
still
like, are
being
they gonna do
investigated, or yeah.
And they either didn't see it or they saw it and they don't care. Like the one guy that I got into it with the last time.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's weird is, didn't the wife say she really never saw, or I don't know if it's changed to this day, she only saw like his head. That she never
Oh,
really
yeah.
saw his whole body. Like,
She looked at him. She was looking
In
at him
another
through a
room.
window.
Yeah.
Right. And his body was covered and only his head was showing.
so wouldn't she have to like make arrangements, bury all that stuff? Like, or is that not for someone I don't know how it works for a prisoner.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, why wouldn't and they have to release the body to her at some point?
What you would think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how it works in another country. Who knows?
It's all very strange. One Telegram account titled, "I would describe myself as quite sane and lucid," capital Q,
That's a nut
which
job.
is why I'm still alive. John McAfee, that was the name of the whole account.
Wow.
Launched on July 20th and already has over 125,000 followers. Two others are far smaller, but apparently piggybacking off of this shtick. According to the Daily Beast, evidence the account has posted for its veracity include personal documents belonging to McAfee, such as a scan of his gun license, all of which had previously leaked and are easily available online, including from a group of documentary filmmakers trying to sell copies of them as non-fungible tokens.
Oh God, here we go again.
Who the hell
Here
would
we
want
go
John
again.
McAfee's? I guess someone would. His gun license? Gives a shit.
The Telegram channel also has posted links to a YouTube account full of drone footage of Jeffrey Epstein's private island, which conspiracy theorists had previously, without evidence, posted, was run by McAfee. Some of the channel's followers have attempted to decode garbled segments of its other message, the Daily Beast wrote, asking each other whether they knew how to access the dark web for more information.
Oh, I like this.
This thing just never ends. There's no matter what. I feel like no matter what's revealed or what's in the news, whatever it is, there's always going to be another theory added on, and it's just never going to end.
Yeah.
There's never anything completely. Whenever there's conspiracy theories, there's never case closed. It's never like, solved it, or it's over. Conspiracy theories have no ending for some reason. I've never heard of one going, a conspiracy theorist going, yep, we got to the bottom of that one. Right?
I'm still.
Have any conspiracy theories ever been sought through to the end?
Didn't they, like, the whole 9/11 thing, like, do they keep adding to that, or no?
There are still people that believe that 9/11 was a
Inside thing.
still
People
believe.
think that, but
Or that it was fake?
which is insane.
I mean, obviously, I lived through it, so.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
all saw it happen. But people are like, "Oh, there were no planes." Get the hell out of here.
No, they say there was no planes at the Pentagon because you don't actually see a plane.
Or the one in Pennsylvania, that one, like they were, so that, and then also the plane that crashed in the house in Rockaway, like a couple of months after that.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Yep.
Bell Harbor.
I'm gonna let you continue, Janine. That
Yes.
plane
I'm
went
gonna let you
down.
finish.
I walked into a class and they were like, a plane crashed in Rockaway. I fucking turned right around. The guy was my teacher was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm not fucking staying here."
Nope.
I left. And
Where were you?
He got mad. I was at St. John's.
Okay.
He got mad at me. He's like, "Where are you going?" I live like
Oh, because we live
Like,
close to there.
what would you say? 10 minutes away from there?
Yeah, right.
4 minutes away from there?
Yeah.
No thanks.
I was like, I do not know. They're like, we don't know what it is yet. I'm like, I'm not fucking staying here.
Great.
I'm leaving.
See ya.
I'm going to find out what it is from the comfort of my own home.
Yeah. If I miss anything important in this class, I'll
Yeah.
pick it up next time.
Asshole face. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Gene. I'm sorry. You were
Asshole
saying.
face.
So I actually was going to school at that time, and there was a girl in my class whose mother and sister were on that plane, and they both died, obviously.
Oh, God.
And I know people think I'm a shitty person. I'm not a nice person at all.
Yep.
They don't even know me.
Mhm.
But school was going to throw her out because she was absent. I think it was, I can't remember at the time if it was more than 7 days or 10 days in a term. You're kicked out of college. Like, that's just like the rule.
That's an insane rule.
So I was like, this ain't right. Like, how could, like, this girl has to go to Dominican Republic and bury, like, her mother and her sister. Like hello, like, and obviously it was right after 9/11, so there was a lot of, like, rules, and, it was hard to get out.
They couldn't make an exception for her.
Nope. So we started this petition that, like, we made to the school, like, you better let her, like, stay in school. And it worked. So
Good.
I won.
That's awesome.
Look at you. So you
Because
didn't.
I was like, there was my old Karen days.
Good for you.
Start of Karen.
That's worth it. That's
I
a
love
good
it.
'Cause
cause.
I couldn't believe, like,
That makes zero sense.
you couldn't make an exception for this girl, like, not for nothing. She just lost her mother and her sister.
Maybe have a friggin' heart.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
that whole thing. Go ahead.
You did 38 years of being a hardcore asshole. You do one nice thing, and you're like, look at how great I am.
Redemption time.
That's my favorite part of the story.
There's a lot. Gaetano, get me my bag.
And it keeps going. No.
Hey, bitch boy, get me my fucking water.
Hey, Spider.
No, I mean, like, the notebook in my bag listing all of the good deeds I've done in my life.
Dance for the drinks the way you
Exactly.
dance.
No, but that also was a conspiracy theory on that
What?
too, on
On
that
what?
plane.
Oh, that plane. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Although that was Pennsylvania.
That and Pennsylvania and the plane that crashed in Rockaway too.
Oh, that one. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, what was the theory that they took it right away or something, or they shot it down, or
Yeah,
they,
the
they
one in
saw-
Pennsylvania. Yeah, the one in Pennsylvania was that the
No.
terrorists didn't take over. That we shot it down.
The terrorists took the plane and we shot it down.
Yes, that's what it.
Yeah, that was Pennsylvania. No, but the one in Rockaway, wasn't it also that was shot down?
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Which is weird because it's right next to JFK. It took off.
Yeah.
It was in the air for a minute.
Yeah,
less than
very
that.
odd. I mean, obviously, it's like very much of a coincidence that.
Can't hear you, Jenny.
Oh, it was a coincidence that it happened like right after 9/11.
It was
it was like
3 months.
It was very
JFK.
strange. Yeah, it was something like that.
So
I feel like it was like October or even November.
I think it was October.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
very
November.
close. But yeah,
that was people were going crazy over that too.
That was weird.
It was also Flight 800 too. Remember TWA Flight 800 that crashed out here on the island? Mm-hmm. People say that they saw something they saw a light go up to that plane before.
Yep.
It went down. That somebody shot it down.
Unbelievable.
And that was a crazy. Actually, my grandfather died on that day, and it was a crazy thing because, like, obviously nobody could believe that it happened. The flight going down, and then
he wasn't on the flight. You mean?
No, it was all that anybody could talk about. I remember that was 25. Was it 25 years ago already?
I remember it because that was when your brother started masturbating. That's how I remember it.
Ew.
I'm sorry. What?
That's a hell of a call. You don't remember that story?
Vaguely.
We were talking about when you started whacking it, and Janine's brother turns around to his mom and goes, "When did Grandpa die?"
That's a weird question to ask. Oh boy, it's fucked up.
It's the family I come from.
To this day, Janine's brother can't have an orgasm unless he's looking at a plane crash video. It's the whole thing is very disturbing. He needs help.
Hey.
Don't judge me for that.
We all have our things, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a thing. I never knew that was a thing.
I feel like we had to recall something else though with Janine, didn't you? Was there something else that you were about to say and didn't say? Now I don't remember.
No, I think that was it. That I was just saying that the whole 9/11 thing. That is just the thing that they said that it didn't really happen and it was actors and like
when people do that.
I was in the city. Like I lived through it. I was in the city when it happened. You know,
my sister-in-law was in the school that's like 2 blocks from it.
Yep.
She was there and saw it all come down.
Yeah, it's so you like these things that happen. You can't really.
I know a guy who was in the second tower. First one gets hit. He's in the second tower. He's at like the 80th floor.
Oh shit.
First one got hit. He felt, whatever happened, he felt it. And he went downstairs because I think his cell phone wasn't working or the phones were down or something happened. I don't remember exactly why he left the building, but he left the building, went out to the street, found a payphone or something. There was like a line of people at the payphone. I'm a little hazy on these details, but he goes to it and then he turns and the second building got hit.
Damn.
So he just left the building that got hit. He would have been trapped above it.
And could you just imagine how much that happened? Because honestly, when I heard like how many people died, I was like, there has to be more, because that just sounds so low, the number. For how many companies were in those buildings, Well,
I'm sure a lot of people were below where the plane hit. A lot of people evacuated, I'm sure.
But then they said
also,
like the second tower was like, don't evacuate yet. It's the first tower that was hit. So that sticks in my mind.
You remember that night, like that night and the next day, it was like 10,000, 15,000. Yep. Those were like, that's what people were thinking.
Yep. But then it went down so dramatically.
Because it happened Tuesday. It was an early Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
I think it started. Was it
8:46?
So it was
I remember.
Just before, as people were getting into the city and the buildings weren't full yet,
Yeah, that's true too.
I think, and so it kind of. It was just, I remember that vividly that day. That was, I'm sure everybody does, but I don't know. It's just a lot. I'm sure everybody has stories like that.
Well, I was going to say before is that people still feel like Building 7 didn't come down the right. Like that was a crazy, like even people who
no one
don't
was
really
in it.
Fully think it's a conspiracy still have like these massive doubts.
Because they look at the footage, they're like, "Oh, see, this is
like
the
I
wrong
said,
angle." It's like
you never actually see a plane hit the Pentagon. That's the weird part about that.
Yeah, no.
You see something
There's
come
no video.
close, the frame by frame thing, and then boom, and then,
Nobody ever had a video of it. That's what you're saying.
There's no video footage of it.
There
Yeah,
isn't. Which is
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
Well,
Yes, I know
2001.
we didn't have that, but other people had it in.
But again, like a plane, people's families died that were on that plane. Like, you have to be telling me that the plane crashed somewhere else, and then the Pentagon got hit with a missile, and then that was the cover up. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any
What-
sense.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, you got to account for the hundreds that were on the plane.
That were on the plane. And the other thing too is that the terrorists, the whole premise of them hijacking a plane is because they don't have the sophisticated weaponry to shoot a missile into the back. So it doesn't make that never made sense to me.
No, it doesn't matter.
To me, that feels like
that I didn't know. I didn't know like that, like a missile. Like, why add all these? These.
Well, what else would it? Yeah, what else would it be if it wasn't a plane? And you can see something hit. You can obviously, because the frame rate. What it is the frame rate of the security footage. So that whatever was traveling faster than how the video camera was taking frames. So it had to be super fast because it was blurry in one frame, and then in the next frame, all you see is the explosion. So
That's 500 miles an hour. These things move.
Right. So what could that be? There's very few things that could be, and a missile and a plane are really kind of your only options.
Yeah, and I doubt you could shoot a missile over Washington without a lot of people seeing it.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, but these people go to the ends of the earth to, again, I love a good conspiracy, but who says it was our own government? Who says they're trying to destroy like documents of, pedophilia and all this crazy stuff? But people say this stuff all the time.
No matter what, if it's bigger than, if it involves a lot of people, then there's a conspiracy theory about it. I feel like if it's something slightly controversial or newsworthy that's like on a little bit of a big scale, there's going to be a million theories and people coming up with these crazy things.
Yeah.
Every time.
Disney and Walmart announced that all of their employees have to be vaccinated. We have 3 vaccination stories to do. So let's get through all of these stories
3.
and then we could talk about it. But can I say that after Janine hijacked our last episode to talk about vaccinations, I have flip-flopped on my view of the vaccine. How's that for a teaser to stick around towards the end of these 3?
What?
These 3 stories. Look, Janine is shocked.
Okay.
Disney and Walmart.
Get my hair back, so now I'm gonna get fucking into it.
Disney and Walmart, 2 of America's largest employers. Did you guys know that?
No. Well,
I would.
Okay,
I
Disney,
would
sure.
Say yes.
You guys want to try that one at a time?
No.
Yeah, I think the federal government is the only larger employer than these 2. Anyway, Disney is requiring all its salaried and non-union hourly employees in the U.S. to be vaccinated. Workers who are working on site but are not yet vaccinated must do so within the next 60 days, according to a statement from the company. All new hires must be fully vaccinated before beginning their jobs. Employees who aren't already vaccinated and are working on site will have 60 days to do so. Employees still working from home must provide proof of vaccination prior to returning from work. The company also said it started discussing vaccine mandates with the union representing its workers. Walmart, the nation's largest retailer, said all its U.S.-based corporate employees must be vaccinated by October 4th. According to a memo released today by Doug McMillon, the company's president and CEO. The company's been gradually having workers come back to the office and plans to be closer to pre-pandemic levels after Labor Day. It'll continue monitoring the pandemic conditions before determining the timeline. Customers will not be required to wear masks, but they will be strongly encouraged, and facilities will post signs to remind them of the CDC's new guidelines. I don't know. I'm trying to find where it says here what'll happen if they refuse to get, I guess they lose their jobs. I don't even know.
So I read that, not that specific article, probably not. But they're not, so that's the thing. They're not saying that you'll lose your job, but is it hinted that you will if you don't get it? I don't know.
Well, it says they're required to do it. I mean, the only actions that could be taken is, suspended, fined, or you're fired.
Yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying last episode, that business is different from government. Like, the government can do and say whatever they want, but business really kind of runs the show around here. And whatever these businesses decide to do is going to really put an impact on what happens in our society. Like, this isn't the government saying everybody has to be mandated, but now you have two of the nation's largest employers saying you have to be. That's like a different.
I think they're not basing it on nothing. They're taking their lead from the government. Said that federal employees too have to are going to be.
No, the De Blasio. Well, what did the government? I know De Blasio said municipal workers in New York City have to either be vaccinated or be tested every week, the proof of a negative test in order to go to work. I don't know what the federal government has said yet, but that's,
if you work for the federal government, that's like what could your position be exactly? Like,
What do you mean?
like what's a career at post
post
right?
office.
Sure.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
plenty of, in the offices,
Any government building.
Okay.
DMV.
Okay,
anything.
like stuff like that. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, DMV is a good one. That's a good one. We got to talk about this quote again. I said there's three parts of this. So here's part 2, which is the Cuomo interview. Chris Cuomo had an anti-vax restaurant owner on his show the other night. I have not seen this, but it was blowing up so much that I was like, I'm going to watch this on the air with everybody together.
I haven't seen it either.
All right.
Wow, two guys that watch CNN.
I don't watch CNN. I don't know where I used to.
I was going to say two guys who watch CNN, and the girl who doesn't saw it before them.
I haven't watched CNN since, I don't know,
Tuesday.
Right.
Since the last day of Trump in office. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
I only used to watch clips really on
You missed the
YouTube.
show on Wednesday because you were too busy watching CNN, is the rumor
Right.
that I heard.
I only used to
Going
watch
door to
clips of news channels on YouTube when I was working in the office, which was over a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So I haven't watched news really, maybe a little here and there, but nothing significant.
All right, let's go to the thing. And by the way, I'm not playing this on the screen because last time we did, we got ripped down from YouTube. So this is why I play it over the microphone in case people are wondering.
Silico's Pasta e Vino, and he joins me now from inside his restaurant. Welcome.
Man, you said the name perfectly. You said it perfectly. Good job. Now I know you're Italian.
It's because I speak the language. Let me guess, you don't. But here's what I'm asking you. Tony,
I love it.
is this a little bit of a joke?
Fire away.
Can you give me some hope that you really don't want people to not get vaccinated so they can come to your restaurant?
That's a good question. You're a smart guy. It's an IQ test. And like I say to people when they ask me, if they're so blinded with their rage and their hate, I tell them, you know what? If you still don't understand it, maybe we should put up a sign up that says you're too stupid to come into the restaurant. I mean, it's very simple. Just like you said, I think you figured it out. Am I right?
I don't even know what you're saying right now. Tell me, so what's the
Yeah,
deal?
what the hell?
I'm saying we're making a point.
And so
You answered the question.
you haven't been vaccinated, nobody in your family has been vaccinated.
It cut out there.
If I answer that, you can answer that when I ask you.
Yeah, sure. Ask everyone.
It's glitching out.
Wow, am I glitching out?
You're glitching out a little bit.
Oh my goodness. All right, tell me when I'm back.
All right. So far, I mean, a little bit of an insult trade there.
I mean, he's so pixelated. He looks like Horatio Sands right now.
You kind of do. That's weird. A little mixed in with like Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, it does. Oh my god, definitely couldn't draw a big beard on him.
Yeah, I don't.
Does my hair look any better? Pixelated?
It looks like the hair. You can't differentiate your hair from the background of your wall. That's how pixelated you are.
Oh god. Am I back yet?
No, not really. The video is not moving, and the audio is choppy.
Mother.
Nothing yet. So now it's the Frankie C and J Sab show. Or J
Okay, so
Sab's
back
Frankie
to this
C
guy.
show.
I mean,
I don't know what point he's trying to make yet,
I don't really.
unless
I don't
he
really know, but
explains
he's
it
angry.
more.
There we go.
Angry at what? Oh, you're
Am I
back.
back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just tell people, because some people, this studio is in my house. I pay for like business level high speed internet, because before we were doing the podcast from here, I had to do voiceovers, and that's why I've been paying for this for like 10 fucking years.
How many devices are running right now in your house?
Dude, I could run the fucking Pentagon off of the speeds that I'm fucking paying for.
How many
So,
neighbors are
But
jumping on
watch
your
out for a
Wi-Fi?
missile.
I just want to tell people that I'm screaming at the company that is my service provider, because this is only it's a weird, stupid thing that's happening.
It's a random thing. It's weird.
Yes, it's very strange. Okay, so you didn't really miss much. This guy obviously has an axe to grind with Chris Cuomo, and now
Yeah.
he's going to ask Chris
I
Cuomo.
don't understand it yet. Maybe he'll get to it.
I'm not vaccinated. Are you?
I am. How about your parents, your wife, your kids?
You were hesitant.
No, I got vaccinated.
I'm gonna ask you the same. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Is your family vaccinated?
Yes.
See, what you're not getting, you're failing the IQ test. What you're not getting, which I expected. What you're not getting is that this is not an anti-vaccine stand. It's a pro-freedom stand. That's what you're not getting.
What is the difference when you are ignoring the science that suggests that if you get vaccinated, you protect yourself, you protect the people around you, and you help us get out of this pandemic a little bit faster?
So what's next then? Are we all going to lock ourselves in our homes whenever there's a flu outbreak or there's an outbreak of a common cold? Are we going to lock ourselves inside our homes and wear a moon suit? I mean, where does it end?
It ends with you getting the vaccine so that this virus doesn't keep replicating and creating variants that we need to find ways to combat. The whole reason this is happening is because people won't protect themselves, Tony. I mean, what are you thinking?
Then why did you leave your house when you had COVID? I mean, you had it, and you left your house. I mean, it's been documented.
Burn.
Right?
Well, it has
So,
been
I want you to answer
documented.
that.
My ass, it's been documented.
Why
I
don't you answer it?
quarantined.
Why
I
don't you
went
answer it?
out. My wife got accosted by somebody.
I don't know, man.
And I know you don't know, so I'm trying to help you. The science is clear, Tony.
Trying to help me.
I don't
Trying
want you to get sick the way I
The
was sick.
science is clear. Oh, you care about me all of a sudden, huh?
Enough to have you on the show because I don't like people making bad decisions for themselves and their family. I was hoping it was a little bit of a stunt.
Oh,
You have the freedom not to take the
then
vaccine.
maybe
I
we
just
should
don't
ask-
know why you think it's a good move.
maybe we should ask your brother about protecting people, right? I
Hey,
mean,
look, that's his job, and if he doesn't do it
that's
well,
a whole-
people won't
that's a whole-
vote for
whole
him.
new can of worms.
But look, Tony, look,
Yeah,
I don't
let's
know
talk
if
about
you know
skirting
me
the
too well.
issue.
I don't shy
My
away from
stand
much.
is not
I'm
a
asking you
political
about
stand.
you.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that too because I know you talk a lot. So my stance here is a pro-freedom stand only. It's not political. You're never gonna. If you come down here, you're not gonna see a Trump flag flying over the roof. Okay, you're not gonna see campaign signs. You're not gonna see campaign slogans or political slogans ever. Okay, you're only gonna see pro-freedom messages, and that's it. And you're not going to drag me down the hole talking about the science. This is not about whether I'm pro-vaccine or not. I'm pro-freedom, anti-tyranny, okay? And, maybe the conversation should really be between me and your brother. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe so. You're pro-freedom, but people can't wear masks. Tony, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I gave you a chance to make the case. I wish you well. I hope your family stays safe.
I made my case. You didn't have much to say.
I mean,
So appreciate
honestly,
it.
you sound like an idiot, so there's not much to say. But, Tony, good luck with it. See you.
And so do you.
Yeah,
And so do you.
only for having you on the show. That was my only mistake.
Let me tell you something. They both sound like bitches.
I'm sorry, but
They do. They both sound like bitches.
I have to. This is going to be a huge shock to everyone.
You agree
but
with
I
that,
agree
Ronald?
with Chris Cuomo.
No.
I mean, I do.
Frank, I thought you were going to agree with me.
How is that even the guy?
They're both being.
He made a good
when-
point. He said I'm pro freedom, but no masks. What
Here's
if
the
I
thing.
want to wear a mask? That's my freedom.
But they both started. Chris started first with him talking about like, well, what his little jab in the beginning, not like jab, but like jab.
I get. Yeah.
But they
The
both-
insults aren't necessary. I get
Like
that.
they both went at each other. It's like,
Fine. Yeah.
but why
the
did he even play that? Why would you even play that on the air?
It's live.
Wait, it gets better. It gets better. Alan Dershowitz was on with Laura Ingram,
Oh God.
and this is part 3 of our
Oh,
vaccine
God.
conversation. So here's
What is this? I don't know.
here's Dershowitz on with Laura Ingram, and they're talking about the vaccine, wearing masks on a plane. Here, I'll let you guys hear it all.
As far as mandating vaccination, I think the Supreme Court would uphold gradual mandating of vaccination. That is, first conditioning going to school on getting vaccinated, conditioning getting on airplanes, conditioning going to crowded buildings. Ultimately, if it became absolutely necessary, they would quote George Washington in the middle of the Revolutionary War, who mandated vaccination against smallpox.
Are you saying that COVID-19, Alan, hold on. Are you saying, see, I disagree with this analysis. COVID-19 is not smallpox. I don't think you have to overrule the Jacobson case. You can distinguish the Jacobson case on the basis of the data, mortality, how infectious this is, how many people it kills. This is not smallpox. So this is not a fully approved, it's not a fully approved vaccine either.
Neither was the smallpox vaccine in 1905. No, I think COVID is worse than smallpox in many ways. It may not kill as many people, but we don't know what the long-term impact is. I have
killed 300 million people worldwide. 300 million people.
I know. I have a right. I know. I have the right to get on an airplane and know that everybody on that airplane is vaccinated or tested. You may have the right not to get vaccinated, but you have no right to spread the disease to me, even if you won't kill me.
Professor, have you not been listening? This is Harvard Law School,
but
okay?
I don't believe you.
I didn't go to Harvard Law School, but I did hear. But I did hear the president today talk about how if you're vaccinated, you spread the virus. You still can spread the virus. I mean, the data out of Israel, the data out of the UK, they're freaking out about this.
It'll be spread much less seriously. Look, we don't know what we don't know.
Okay, you can deprive people of their constitutional rights on the basis of a vaccine that still allows the spread of a virus.
There is no constitutional right to get on an airplane and to spread the disease to me, even if it's not going to be fatal.
Okay. All right.
I have constitutional rights.
We gotta go. We're up against a hard break, but
and the court's got to balance it.
It's not smallpox, Professor. Thank you.
It's such ridiculous.
I just want to say,
Wait, I'm confused on her stance because isn't she
exactly? She's anti whatever.
Yeah,
the left says.
I just want to point out that Alan Dershowitz defended Jeffrey Epstein. That Alan Dershowitz defended O.J. Simpson.
And why am I agreeing with him? But I am.
Which goes back to our point the other day that the lines on who stands where
it's true.
Completely blurred.
That's definitely true.
Just because you're A does not necessarily mean you're B anymore. It's crazy how massively spread everything's become.
Just imagine for a moment, if you will.
Oh God.
Let's say, what is it, 350,000 Americans, whatever the number is, I don't remember. 350 million, Americans in the world, in the country. Imagine if every single one of us were vaccinated, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be better off health-wise for everyone in terms of COVID being the variants knocking down, and whatever it spreads, it's less trouble for the people who get it? Wouldn't that just help everyone?
Am I wrong there? Be a good start.
That's what the science is saying. That's what everybody's.
Yeah, let me say this. So after our last show, I took a lot of what Janine said in.
Go for it.
And I actually watched it again, which I rarely do because it's very hard to look at this.
Oh God, I know.
Agreed.
Same here.
I got to tell you, I had a little bit of a revelation, and it was in the midst of Janine browbeating me to not force the vaccine on people. Why are we pushing the vaccine on people that don't want to get it anymore? I'm not talking about in the beginning.
Stop the spread of a deadly virus.
Follow me here for a second, Frank. I'm not talking about where we were 6 months ago. I'm not talking about hypothetically it would be great if everybody got it. I'm talking about where we are right now with roughly 50% of the country By the way, last show I think I said 70%. That's New York, not the country. So that's on me. But roughly 50% of the country has it and 50% doesn't. I would say that you probably, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with it, it's fine. I'd say that probably another 15 to 20% of people would get it. They're not against it. They're just like kind of like waiting around and seeing whatever. So whatever it is. But we're trying to push the vaccine out to save people, to stop the spread thing and whatever, and you could still spread it, but it would be less and all this stuff. Janine said something that really, it sunk in the second time around that I saw it.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Why are you panicking?
Oh no, I'm getting
No,
red.
this is positive for you. This is something.
People know about the vaccine.
Right.
If they haven't gotten the vaccine, right, and they get COVID and they die,
right,
they get COVID and they die. They had plenty of opportunity. There's been no shortage. There's been nobody that has said, I tried to get the vaccine and I couldn't.
Right.
It wasn't available. It wasn't on my schedule. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's somebody willing to give you this vaccine.
Go ahead.
Okay. So why are the people that are vaccinated trying so hard to save the people that aren't vaccinated that clearly don't want to be vaccinated?
Because we're human beings who want to look out for everyone.
I agree. And I would love for everybody to be perfectly safe. But at this point, July 30th, with 6 months of having the ability to get it, the worst case scenario of this is somebody who had a chance to
That's not the worst case.
Their odds, didn't, and died.
It's not the worst case. Worst case scenario is this thing keeps spreading and it mutates and then we can't fight it.
But it is doing that anyway with the vaccinated people, it seems. This is the
It's
newest
doing
data
it.
that
It's
we're
doing
seeing.
it because there's not enough vaccinated people and it keeps spreading.
Agreed.
That's why it's mutating.
But at this point, I feel like we're trying to save people who have zero interest in being saved.
Well, we just don't want to see half the population have COVID.
See, I don't feel that way.
You're a heartless bastard.
That's not the way I feel. And I really
If people don't want to get it, let them die. Is that what you're saying?
Janine, last episode, Janine really snapped it into focus. I'm kind of like, we had to come back. I was more of like the let's get businesses and whatever.
Well,
Personally,
it
was
was
better.
friend or a relative of yours who doesn't want to get it.
Personally, it was better for me if the country came back, financially, economically, like, you could wrap in all those reasons on why I got it, right? I wanted to be healthier, whatever it was. Okay. At this point, okay. If my dear aunt knew about the vaccine and didn't get it and got COVID and died, how is that any different from anything else that you wish? Like, I have relatives that we've been trying to get them off of drugs for their entire life. You know what I mean? It's like smoking. And I realize those are addictive things, and it's a slightly different example. But my point is we're trying to, it's for the better. Obviously, we think it's safer. But if people don't want it and they die, how is that? Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Does that make sense?
What if God forbid, what if your wife didn't want to get it?
But she
didn't want to get it.
She didn't want to get the vaccine.
By the way, I didn't want to get, like, nobody. I honestly
nobody wants to get it.
Wanted to get this.
Right, exactly. Well, you don't want to have to. You don't want to have to get it, or you don't want to have to need to get it. I get that. Who the hell wants to go get another shot with something? I get that, but.
And we did the thing where, and for us, again, there was financial reasons, there was health reasons.
You might not care about
other family members. It was a reason for us to get it for other family members, so we can have holidays and whatever and all that bullshit. Honky dory, love everybody, great stuff.
But there are a bunch of reasons to get it because you don't want. I know you don't care about Joe Schmo from wherever across the country who doesn't want to get the vaccine. But if he dies, he dies. That's your point, right?
Can I stop you?
Please.
I want everybody to get it. I am done pulling for or feeling like we need to continue to push or
it's not just about them. It's not about Joe Schmo who doesn't want to get it.
Isn't
because
it?
No, because if this thing keeps growing and keeps strengthening and keeps mutating, it's going to affect us all again. It's going to mutate. It's already doing it. It's going to grow into different variants, and we're not going to have the vaccine that will fight it. We're not going to be ready for it because this vaccine that we have now was decades in the making. They didn't start working on it because someone had COVID one day in 2019.
Yeah.
They started working on it for decades.
Don't you think it's going to become like the flu? Because people get the flu shot every year, right? But the thing is, different strains of the flu come out every single year.
And the flu shot changes.
Well, it can change, but you can definitely still get the flu. I know people who got the flu shot and then still got,
It's a lot worse if you don't have the flu shot.
Well, I was getting the flu shot. My wife came to me one day and she's like, "We're getting the flu shot." I'm like, She's like, "We're parents now. We're getting the flu shot."
It's also not the flu. This isn't the flu. It's worse than the flu.
I agree. It's worse than the flu.
But not to kids. It's not worse than the flu.
Well, whoever it is, it's to humans. It's worse than the flu.
But
kids,
no,
adults, grandparents, whoever.
The flu in kids is worse than COVID in kids because COVID in kids right now is not. It's not doing what it's doing to people who have COVID with underlying conditions. So that's like the main thing where people just don't get that. And with the flu shot, like I said, if you get the flu shot and you get the flu, you could still have it as bad if you didn't get the flu shot. Because if it's not the same strain, then you're fucked. It's the same. You're still going to get very sick.
Well, what do you think's going to happen with COVID if it's a different strain? As it keeps mutating, it's going to get worse.
That's what I said. It's going to eventually become like the flu. Like there's different strains of the flu.
We're trying to stop.
Yeah, but you could never stop the flu. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different strains. You're not going to be able to stop it.
This is a pandemic that's
Can
worse.
I just say something too? There is what you said about the kids is true for the most part. And what I find interesting is that, or the last study I read, this could have changed by now, but the vaccine, the regular vaccines that kids get for other things is what's driving that sort of resiliency in children against COVID. That because
like certain stuff that's in that.
Because the basics for children's vaccines now are mRNAs, which is what this vaccine is, and that is why they're saying because if they got it at 2 and they're 7, they still have high levels of those antibodies, and that's what's also helping them fight it. But I have to say that there is that Kawasaki thing that's going on that is part of COVID that they can't exactly figure out because some children are getting very sick and some children are dying. It's very low. I mean, I think it's in the hundreds, but still, that's horrifically sad to have a young kid die from this. But there is, which does worry me a little bit. Doesn't that worry you, Janine, a little? I mean, that's a little.
I mean,
it's the chances of it are minute, but I still, as a parent, like I hate that.
It's extremely low.
Agreed.
And I have a friend who is a pediatric nurse practitioner, and she said if the kids are testing positive for it, if they get even sick, it's a cold.
Yeah, because their immune system is very strong when you're a kid. But that's what the
flu it's not.
Yeah, what the flu shot and what the COVID shot does is it boosts your immune system. So when you're fighting it, you have a better chance.
But
that's
not with the flu shot, though. The flu is different.
With the flu shot.
The flu is different than COVID, like you said, right?
It's different. They are different, but the vaccines do the same thing. The vaccine strengthens your immune system so that if you get the flu, you're going to get out of it faster, and it's not going to knock you on your ass as much as if you don't have the vaccine. Yeah, you might get the flu, but it's not going to affect you as bad. It's going to boost the vaccine boosts your immune system.
All right, but speak to my point that the most vulnerable people to die right now are the people that are obviously ignoring the thing. So why continue to push it on them? They don't want it.
Because
they don't want it.
For two reasons. One, they'll spread it to other people.
Am I wrong, Janine? I mean, did I capture what you were trying to say? Because I feel like I finally...
Well, sort of.
So don't care about anybody is your point.
No.
No, it's not don't care. See, that's different. If I was saying this 6 months ago, it's don't care about anybody. But this is after, I mean, the thing has practically been around for a year, really kind of 6 months for everybody to be able to easily get it. and people are still not getting it. If something bad
they
were to
don't know all the
happen to them,
facts.
how is that? They're the ones who are vulnerable right now, not the people that are vaccinated. So if that's the risk that, again, to me, it is akin to you take that cigarette and put it to your mouth, knowing all the shit we know about lung cancer. That's on you. You don't see me now. I will, by the way, I will always say, why are you smoking, to an old person? I did it to Janine's father. I will do it to. I did it to your mother, Frank.
Yeah, smoking is dumb too. I'm sorry.
I will
If you're
say
smoking,
that to everybody.
You probably know that what you're doing is not good for you.
But
you
that
do it because you're
asshole.
addicted, and I get that.
I say that to everybody who smokes. Who I'll be like, "Are you still doing? Like, you know, you're gonna die from this shit." I will say that endlessly. I don't know what it is, but it's my own fucking problem. But from that, forget that side note. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are still doing that. People are still overeating. People are still doing all these things that are not healthy for them, and bad things are going to happen to them as a consequence. This is really kind of not any different.
Reason one is you care about
up.
people, and reason one to keep informing people about the vaccine is because you don't want to see half the country die of COVID or get COVID.
Don't we? Okay.
And reason two is so that we can get this disease under control, so it doesn't mutate into something we can't control.
Know. I'm on Team Thanos and Bill Gates. I think we need half the country to go. It's enough is enough already. Aren't you tired of rush hour traffic?
There might be too many people.
Imagine getting to and from work in 15 minutes.
No, Frank doesn't mind. Frank doesn't
to
mind
and from work.
So you know what?
To and from work is literally 10 feet right now. So
how about you drive to the Bell Park on the Bell Parkway?
I hate the
Then
Bell
you have a
Parkway.
little different tune.
We could get rid of half of the country, and the Bell Parkway would still be a fucking
still be
issue.
a mess.
Go ahead.
Because there'd always be construction.
So there was like a few different components. My first thing was, if you're scared, like, people are scared to spread it to other people. But people who have underlying conditions, who could get the most sick possibly if they got it, have already gotten the vaccine.
Not necessarily.
Oh, I 100% think that they have.
You don't think there's someone? You don't think there's someone who is sick who refuses to get the vaccine? They don't have to.
What do you mean? Like,
you're saying if someone has an underlying condition, they've already been vaccinated?
Yes, I do think so.
That's not always the case. So. You think everybody who's ignoring who doesn't want the vaccine is perfectly healthy?
Not perfectly healthy, but okay, there's a lot of people who deny that they have
50% of the people in the country have not getting the vaccine. You think all of them are healthy and don't have a condition?
No, I think people who care about themselves in that way, because there's a difference. There's people out there who are not healthy and know they're not healthy but do not care.
Fine, I'll go with that.
I'm in that not healthy category.
And that's okay. But I think the people who care about
PDQ today, and I didn't need to get the cheese on the fries, but I did it anyway.
Oh, dude, you had PDQ and you didn't pick me up PDQ?
Intentionally. I was like, should I call Frank and Janine and let them know? And I was like, you know what? Fuck them.
Well, I'm only 8 minutes away, so. But I think people who know that they're not healthy, and if they got it, possibly that they could get really sick, have gotten it. I do think that. I think 100% that they have gotten it. Now that there's people who don't give a shit about their health, and you know what? Maybe they didn't get it, but it's not my responsibility or yours to care about them if they don't care about themselves.
True,
Sorry.
but it's not all about them. It's still affects everybody else in the country. Even if I'm vaccinated, number one, I could still get it, and number two, the thing is going to mutate again, and we have to get it under control before it does that. And when it does that, at least we're not still worried about COVID number one, and then we have to now worry about number two, and then number three, and we're falling behind all this stuff. So at least if we get COVID, this first one under wraps, if it mutates, we'll be ready for the second time. We have to at least get it under control before we can move on to if it mutates. But if we don't have it under control and it mutates, then we're in up shit's creek with both of them.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think personally that. I think it's just going to be like the flu, that there's definitely all different strains and we won't be able to control it that way. I really don't think so. And
Not if we don't help. We have to help.
Well,
I mean, if we're not, I honestly just think they're asking us to do very little to help with this. Wear a mask, avoid, do social distancing, and get a shot. That's all they're asking us to do. And I don't think it's that much of an ask to help get something that killed over 500,000 Americans and millions around the world. I don't think it's that big of an ask. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I have to agree with you because, a lot more people died and then in cars and car accidents, and then they stuck seatbelts and airbags in there, and less people died. And we all bitched, especially, oh my God, in New York, when it became law to have to wear your seatbelt. Do you remember that? Everybody bitched. And then it was 10 years of getting tickets because people weren't wearing their seatbelts. And so those people bitched even more about having to wear their seatbelts. By the way, when I say those people, present party included that. But anyway, I mean, it's the same exact thing. But I feel like everybody is well aware. Here's who I feel sad for. It's the people that are, no, your husband, Janine. It's the people that are misreading, that are given bad information and making bad choices off of bad information. And whether that comes from Fox or CNN or Phil's fucking blog. I feel bad for those people, but at this point, 6 months into this damn thing, and you look, Janine's sitting there, she doesn't want it. Like, if Janine got it and died, I would be heartbroken by it. But like, what are we going to say to Janine today that's going to change her mind? It's not going to happen.
That bothers me.
She's about to make a point.
Whenever
I don't know what it
is.
is.
Something really good.
She had something there. But here's a thing. I just
Big
looked
Pharma.
Up.
It's Big Pharma
Big
keeping
Pharma.
it down, Frank.
It is. Here's a thing that I just came across. And I'm not sure.
Wait, hold on. I got to stop it because she just came back. Yeah.
Sure, cut me off. Sure, cut me off when I'm saying this is what really bothers me.
I'm trying to silence you, Janine. We hung up on you.
Just so the audience knows,
thanks,
I have nothing to do with that.
Thanks, Q.
I don't have any buttons on my end.
I realized why I got so fired up the other night, and it's because I watched news, and I haven't watched news, and I don't even know how long, and that just fired me up. But
agreed, it does that.
What bothers me, I think, the most is that there's people out there who think by making fun of people who don't get the vaccine, not you, Frank, it's going to make people change their mind.
Like
not you. No,
because you're on the fence guy.
There's a few people who I'm Facebook friends with who constantly
making fun is not the thing.
Constantly post things like they think they're going to change people's mind. Like, whatever you post is not going to change someone's mind. And again, if you add making fun of or calling these people idiots,
the way it should be,
it's not going to change another person.
It should be a welcoming thing. It should be, please come over to. If you're trying to get someone on your side, you have to be warm and like welcoming and like, hey, I just care about you. Here are the facts. Look it up for yourself.
I'm against all of this. I disagree with all of you. First of all, you should be able to make fun of everybody. Second of all, I feel like we should, Sunny style, close the door to the bar and lock it. Now you can't have the vaccine, and we'll hoard it all for us vaccine people. So when shit really starts to go down in a year or so, now you don't have it.
I want to share this with you. Normally I wouldn't, but I'll share this with you.
I hope it's your bank account number.
My friend's brother has MS, a specific kind where he's in a wheelchair and has been for a while, and his doctors advised him not to get the vaccine. They're afraid that his reaction to it could put him in a very bad situation.
Okay.
So, his parents are fine with that. And my point is, and he's older too. You can't look at someone and say they have to get the vaccine.
If you can, if you're physically able to, of course. If you have MS, if you have something that can't, the doctors tell you not to, of course.
Right.
But if you're able to,
here's the thing too. Like, there's people out there,
who
are scared of long-term effects because it hasn't been that long, and they're scared that whatever condition that they have, it might go against them and cause bad things
that's
to
why
happen.
Let me
And
drop
so
this
that's
in.
why they are scared.
Let me drop this in for everybody listening. Boy, do I hate to be on the same side as Dershowitz, but it's true because they're starting to study the long-term effects of COVID, and they're starting to find some weird shit about. Like, there's some people who still. I know people who had it and who have still 8 months after the fact
Can't
have
smell
not
or
gotten
taste.
their sense of smell back.
Yep.
And they know it's not a taste bud or no, it's in the brain.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they don't know what the. So speaking of long-term effects, it's on the other side of it
And
too.
obviously, I was going to say it's on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Not yet.
which-
It's on one side so far.
Which evil do you
Well,
pick? That's the whole thing.
There's
We don't
one.
know.
We don't know yet, but there's been so much research leading up to the release
Yes, but
of the
be
vaccine.
honest. Be honest, Frank. When you were going to get the vaccine, didn't you weigh that? Like, what's the long-term effect of what this would do to me versus what that would do?
I weighed it against, do I want to possibly get COVID, or and I know people who, it's not a fun thing to get. So did I want to get it, or is this going to help me fight it? That's what I looked at. Long-term effects. This vaccine has been studied and researched for decades now. They've been looking at this for decades. It's not like COVID magically appeared in 2019 and they're like, oh, we got to get to work. No, they had people working on this stuff already. They know COVID is not a new thing. There's strands of it. This is the one that fucked everybody up because it's
Thanks,
a different
Wuhan.
strand. Well, whatever. But what's shocking, I mean, there's this, I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but the United States is the leading country with COVID deaths in the world. It has the
And
most
also
deaths.
the most obese. Fact?
Okay.
You're welcome, world.
Thanks.
So 612,000 deaths. The next one is India with
to our defense,
423.
we have the best fucking food, so that would explain
EDQ.
the funny thing.
That's
Yeah,
kind of true.
I mean,
I mean, who else puts cheese on their fries? Come on. What other country does
Nathan's. Oh, country, I don't know.
Yeah.
that? I mean, hello.
Canada does that.
Oh, it's a little different, but
In France, they try and put cheese on pommes frites, like whatever the fuck that is, assholes.
Oh,
Pommes frites. Anyway,
That's
that's my view
Pommes
on
frites are
cheese
French fries,
fries.
Frank.
Thank you. But Roll and Roaster, best fries.
Yeah.
oh,
We got to do a trip to Roll and Roaster one day.
oh, yeah.
Am I wrong?
Bell
Look,
Parkway.
in
Okay.
a wonderful world, I would hope that everybody would get it and be safe. It's not the case that we have. This is not the hand that we've been dealt. You have to, be in reality. And the reality is that people don't want it. And if they don't want it and they do get it and the worst happens to them, what were you going to do? But again, I only feel bad for the people that were given false information and are acting off of that. That's the only people you got to really feel bad for.
Right.
I also think that Janine is not getting it now clearly out of spite, similar to the way that Larry David opened up a spite store.
That's possible. That's a reason.
Like, the more she says, it kind of feels like a spite. But
Yeah.
whatever
You know
her
what it
reason
is?
is
'Cause
okay.
I feel, and I was telling my friend this today. I feel pressured to take it, and I shouldn't have to feel pressured to take it. No one should feel pressured
Yeah,
to
but
take
all
it.
the cool
No.
kids are doing it, Janine.
What?
You're not being forced. You're not being forced.
Didn't
Not
you
by
hear
you.
that Lady
No, not
Gaga
by-
got it?
Not by you. Well, yeah, exactly. I just feel it's in your face. Yes, they want people to get it. I get it, but and I said this the other day. Like, there's such an obsession with it, and someone attacked me. And the thing is, maybe I used the word wrong. I feel like they're trying to do everything they can to make people get it, and never have they done that before with anything. Like
Yeah,
$100.
100 years ago, they did
scratch-offs,
I don't know about
free-
$100,
free pot. I mean,
but
like,
100 years ago, there was a massive campaign to get the smallpox vaccine. It was a huge campaign. Get the vaccine.
What do you think
And
they gave?
50 years
Large?
ago, it was the measles. The same thing.
blowjobs from Mary.
This is not new. Maybe it was blowjobs. I don't
Come
know.
on, Mary. That mouth is going to be tired tonight. I mean, like,
Possibly.
I,
But
it's-
they do this every time a pandemic happens. They encourage everyone to get the vaccine, and it's not new.
I hate to be nerdy here, but in the little bit that I've read about this all, and it's so funny. we think we're so unique, and this is all, like, obviously this is new, and this is unique times. But when you look back at all the other pandemics, they have all played out basically the same exact way.
Without like conspiracy theories, right? Because
Yeah, but down to the T of that people are like, well, the vaccine's not FDA approved. No fucking vaccine ever was approved. Like, it was never.
How long
it
it takes
all
to
in
approve it?
emergency situations,
Right.
always. And then eventually they all hammered. But this is all the same thing. The 1919 one had all these different waves and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's basically playing out the way it always plays out. And this is why I always say, like, it's.
Yeah, but there are more people now than there were back then.
Yeah,
And
there is
it's-
more people.
Of course, the tragedy.
more popular,
Anybody
you know.
dying from this is a tragedy, but it's going to happen, and But to Janine's point, because I will say again, this is another little area of expertise. You give people what they want, and that's how you get things done. Fucking Lady Gaga and Joe Biden and Andrew Cuomo, and it doesn't even matter. President Trump. None of this is going to sell it to the people that don't want it. $100 and a thing of marijuana. I understand they have good intentions, but it's having the opposite reaction than what they want it to have.
Because then people laugh at it and they're like, they think of it as a joke.
Exactly.
They do.
Like, it doesn't matter how many PSAs you produce about this. It is not going to change the vast majority's mind.
What's weird to me is flashback to a year ago when we were locked down and the pandemic was raging, people dying, the numbers spiking, and people were going, we need to get something to get out of this.
Yep.
CDC, the government hands us a vaccine, and everybody goes, nope, not everybody, but half the people go, nope, we're not doing it.
You know why?
Well, this is the way out.
I think because we learned more about the virus and we learned like just different things, and so people are like, okay, I'm gonna make my decision based on this.
Well, here's the thing: there are people that make their decision who aren't the scientists, who aren't the people who know about this stuff. So, I get it's your life and you make your own decisions. I get that, but if you're making a medical decision, the people who know more about that are the scientists who came up with this stuff. Those are the people who did the research.
Right, but
in the
everyone is so
labs.
different. Everyone is so different, and everyone's situation
Which
is
is
so
why,
different.
if you're worried about it, if you have a thing, you ask your doctor. The doctors will know. Scientists, good opinions, research. You do what you want to do. But I mean, I don't know. You don't know better than the people who came up with this vaccine. They know what they're doing. Is it 100%? I don't know, but they know as more than we know about it. You agree with that?
Oh, I think that they do, but not just. I don't think that the one
They know
thing
better than we do.
Yes, the
What?
long-term effects.
I'm laughing
is the
because
one thing.
I just fought a yawn back, and I was like, should I start saluting?
Well,
Playing with your hair and the microphone.
She's rubbing off on me.
oh God.
That's what she said.
I didn't even realize I was playing with my hand.
Oh my
Go ahead,
God.
Janine. You were going to say something to wrap up this vaccine talk, hopefully.
Are we done? Because I'm
Go
done.
ahead. What you
done.
have to say what you were going to say. You were about to launch.
No, I
into-
mean we're done, so I can start saluting. Done.
No, ice cream truck we were talking about.
Oh, God. Oh,
and
God.
Frank's fucking finger, and then that's it.
I gotta go. Listen,
Well, we'll
this
do it
fired
quick.
me up again.
Real quick, what was the last thing you were going to say?
Say your last thing.
I completely
I
forgot.
forgot. God.
All right.
Because your hair.
Yeah, you had to interrupt with your stupid yawn.
Look at this luscious hair.
That's a mane.
It's beautiful.
That is a pompadour.
Making Kramer jealous.
I'll call you cockadoodle.
I finally had I finally had a summer day today.
Oh, here we go.
First
You took
summer
off?
day.
July 3rd. No, I didn't. No, I had a busy day as usual. I still have stuff to do after the show.
Oh God.
And
Poor bastard.
but I got some pool time with the kids in the pool today, and it was like I think it was the first time I went into a pool this year.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fucked up. But
It's nice, isn't it, though?
But today was such a gorgeous day, and it was such like a summer.
Yeah, I went to the beach today.
Did you? Mm-hmm. It was just like a classic like Friday summer. It
was
was
nice.
just a great day today.
Yeah, I went on a few walks with my dog. It was beautiful out.
I just lost my dog. Why do you have
You
to do
didn't
that
just
all the time?
lose your dog, first of all. It was like
come on.
Today's the 6-month anniversary,
6 months.
Oh.
and you had to bring that up.
You know, I lost my dog 7 months ago, right? 8 months ago. I'm sorry, 8 months ago.
Those were COVID times. We
Okay.
blocked that out.
Got it.
But Frank found this great thing. Ice cream truck pulls up, and you only get one. And if you're I'm sorry if you're listening, but if you're watching, it's all the classic, ice cream offerings from the Good Humor truck.
I want ice cream so bad right now. This looks all delicious.
All right, before we get into this, though, Good Humor truck versus Mr. Softy. Which one were you more excited?
Mr. Softy.
Softy.
Me too.
Softy.
It's not even close, right?
That's what she
I don't know
said.
why. What was the difference?
Because Mr. Softy was fresh, soft serve ice cream, and this was all stuff that was in a package.
Good Humor didn't do any soft serve.
No, Good Humor was
that's no good.
in the awesome little things that they would open and slam closed in the little freezer doors.
I don't remember seeing many of those when I was a kid. I remember seeing a lot of Mr. Softy, but not Good Humor.
Yeah, Good Humor was all prepackaged ice cream bars and stuff, whereas Mr. Softy, you got the cones and the cups and the sprinkles. All right,
Yeah,
good
it's
to
all
see
good
that.
stuff. So there's 29 choices here. All awesome choices.
Yeah, should we go through them quickly? I don't even.
Oh my God.
No. If you want, oh,
Oh,
we lost. Okay.
There we
So
go.
if you want to see them, you look at YouTube, Facebook.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot. There's 29 of them. I don't think we can name them all.
Please drop your number in the comments. I want to see them. You could explain or not, but I got to say, Janine picked the Magnum. That was, and I don't think that was
That's
based around the
inappropriate.
ice cream.
I picked number 11.
Number
What did you
11. The Super Mario bar.
Now, did you really choose the Super Mario bar when you were growing up as a
mean,
kid?
Don't be an asshole. Don't be an
Good
asshole.
point.
Because this is the best bar. This is the bar that beats out any other one. You know
Better
why?
than Buffalo Bill?
Listen, yes,
All right.
because it was Super Mario and
It's true.
it had gum. I mean,
That's
what
true.
else do you want? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Just I get a little emotional about this.
What about
just-
the frog? The frog had Reese's Pieces on him.
I just wish you weren't such a racist and only stuck with Italians. That's my only sadness.
Yeah,
'Cause you can
Gaetano, Mario.
You can get the gum in Buffalo Bill, the frog with the two gum eyes, and also the new dinosaur that had the gumball in the middle.
Oh,
for
that's
some
true
reason.
too.
That thing was awesome. That
Yeah.
and the one missing from here, my brother pointed out, I think, was the Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles had a bar, yeah, had a popsicle.
With the gum and the
Yeah.
gum in there. But yeah, I always, whenever we were like at the park, Anthony, I think you remember, I would always get the snow cone. I love the snow cone.
Oh,
Which is
really? I like the snow
hands
cone.
down the worst choice on
No.
this list.
That was the
Your mouth
best.
will turn purple.
That plus towards the end, all the juice is on the bottom, and you just get to drink the ice cold syrup that accumulates on the bottom. It's fantastic.
Let me tell you something. We wasted a perfectly good vaccine shot on you with this
Cute.
fucking
That's-
choice.
That's adorable. Thank you.
And also, didn't you say you chose the shark one though? Wasn't
I like the shark
yours?
one as well.
All right.
My top three are the shark one, snow cone, and I thought they were calypsos, but it looks like Calippo. Number 4.
Give me a top three, Janine, when you weren't feeling so racist, when you would go outside of your own race. What would you get?
Let's see. I'm gonna do Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
I did like the Twister. Not a surprise. And I have to say the snow cone too. I'm sorry. The snow cone.
Jeez,
You know
I
why?
can't-
It was
it-
not. Yeah, go ahead.
It reminded me of down the block from where I used to live, there was a candy store and they used to make slushies. Do you remember those?
Slushies are wonderful.
Like I can remember going to the store with my friend, now husband, and we would get slushies. And my favorite flavor was Bahama Mama.
Non-alcoholic, I'm assuming.
No, it's obviously.
Okay.
And I used to get it for him too, but he preferred the mango one. See, I'm a good person. I remember the flavor he liked. Okay, thank you.
That's pretty good. No one said you were a bad person, Anthony.
Yeah,
I did. I think she's awful.
So, all right. So, what are your three? You had Super Mario, Twister, and Snow Cone.
Yep.
Okay. Anthony.
Okay, have you ever seen anybody order the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream sandwich in your
Absolutely
life?
not.
No,
Absolutely
never.
not.
Thank you.
No, and no, because why would you? Whenever you get the thing at home, the container, it's like, oh man, why isn't this all chocolate?
And by the way, you only ever bought that container when your family was having a party and you wanted variety in a box.
Exactly.
Right.
Because there was
That's
some
true.
asshole in your family that wanted strawberry ice cream.
you
There was
have
only one
strawberry?
asshole.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And what
I
about
don't
the?
like strawberry either.
What about number 10? Those cups. I never saw anybody get the cups of ice cream like that.
All the
Unless it
little
was-
fake sundaes in a cup.
Yeah, unless it was a soft
Yeah.
serve sundae that the guy made on the truck,
Yeah,
which were amazing. Throw a
No,
banana
I'm
in
good.
there.
I'm good.
I agree. For me, it was the WWF Superstars bar. I mean, there's nothing better than that.
That's a good one.
The cookie on the top was so delicious.
It's basically an ice cream sandwich on a stick.
No, it's not. Don't treat it like that.
I can't even. I'm gonna quit. Bye.
You know
it
what?
was better than an ice cream sandwich because it was cookie and then there was a layer of chocolate on the bottom and delicious vanilla ice cream in there.
Plus, you didn't know what wrestler you were going to get when you
Yes.
opened it up.
Always exciting.
That was.
Always exciting.
What
And you
was
would
good-
ask for a
Yeah.
specific wrestler and the guy and the 14-year-old pothead behind the thing didn't give a shit. You couldn't understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but I want Hulk Hogan. But what just took me back, remember, look at number 22. I remember trying that one once. And I don't remember if I liked it, but that just brought me right back to when I was like 10 years old.
It's a vampire bar?
Yeah, it's got some kind of, I don't know if it's cherry or whatever inside ice cream or strawberry. I tried it once because I was like, oh, vampire bar, it can't be bad. I don't know if it was any good or not, but I remember specifically for some reason having that one time.
No, but mine was I do WWF bar, and then second to that is that strawberry shortcake bar with all the crumblies on the outside.
Oh, those are amazing.
Oh my
You know
god,
what's funny? I don't like them.
are you crazy?
Oh,
I
those
don't
are
like
good.
them.
Now here's what's insane: the worst one out of those 4 offerings is the chocolate eclair. The worst. Frank's
No.
wife, who could not be more farther on the left,
No, that's
chose that one, and our the audience doesn't know, who could not be more on the right, also chose that one. I think it's the first time those two have ever agreed on anything, and they agreed on the worst fucking ice cream that was available, which was the sad part.
That's kind of true. But I think was it? I think my wife's choice was. What was it?
It was
yeah,
the chocolate
eclair. You're
eclair.
right, chocolate eclair. I looked. Just
I
looked it
listened
up.
to your wife, unlike you.
I thought it was the one with the bar, the candy bar in the middle. Because
Yeah, the candy bar
we
in
were
the middle.
talking about it before I sent the text out, and she was tossed up between the eclair and the one with the candy bar.
Well, it made me think that perhaps the answer to our nationwide divide is shitty ice cream bars. Is maybe that'll be the thing.
Look to the cookie.
All right,
If anything's going to bring us together.
Frank went on vacation and during a leisure activity hurt his fucking finger.
Where'd you go on vacation?
There's this place in Jersey which is amazing. It's called Crystal
Springs Resort.
Springs, yes.
Wow.
And we were there for a few days, and I tried archery.
Oh, I love
And-
that.
Now, I did archery when I went to Mexico a bunch of years ago. My wife and I went. I did archery, but it was like there were like 10 of us. There was one bow, and I got to shoot the thing like two, 3 times, whatever. This time, you get your own bow, you get your own aisle or range.
Is it
whatever they
true
call
that you chose archery because it was the only activity that required a vaccine to do? Is there any truth to
Right.
that rumor? Okay.
No. So I
What
did
was
archery.
that flex, Janine? What did you just do there?
I was trying to
didn't
see
see
if
it.
I was trying to see if I can still dislocate my shoulder. Go ahead.
Oh, good lord.
Random.
Okay.
Can you?
Oh my god.
Oh!
look at that.
Oh! What the hell is that?
Does that mean you'd be
By
a
the
good
way, I
archer?
just got the COVID vaccine.
That's what happens. That's a short-term effect. So they give you your own bow, your 9 arrows. You got the target maybe 20 feet away, 25 feet, something like that. And you just, for 45 minutes, you just shoot as many as you want. And I must have done like 60 shots, whatever.
Wait,
and,
they
gotta
give you
wait for
9
everybody.
arrows?
Yeah.
So you have to keep going back and pulling them out
Well,
of the
you
thing?
gotta wait for everybody. There's like 6 rows. You got to wait for everybody to be done.
Right.
And the guy yells, all clear. You walk up to your target. You take the arrows
Pull
back.
your arrows back. Go ahead.
Right. So I didn't know this at the time, but I mentioned it to the guy. I said, isn't there a thing where when you do archery, you pulling the string back? Because my string's, it's a metal string. It's hurts your fingers after a little while. I'm like, isn't there a thing, like a glove or something that you could use? He's like, oh, yeah, that exists. I'm like, oh, good. Do you have one? No. Okay. So I'm sitting there, I'm doing this thing, and he's like, pull it all the way back. And this is one of those bow and arrows, like those complicated bows with all the metal rings on it, and those crazy ones you see in models that you would never touch. This is what I'm using. And I hit a few bullseyes, and I'm going for 45 minutes, and then after a while, I was like, all right, I got to stop. I think I ended it a little early because this was last Saturday. It's Friday right now as we're doing this. My finger is still numb. This top part of my finger is still tingly, like when your foot falls asleep. That's what it feels like.
I like that feeling.
It's tingly and numb, this tip of my finger right here, for the last 7 days. My wife looked it up. She said it lasts like 9 days. It's supposed to.
Okay, that's insane for a leisure time vacation activity to have a week's result of numbness.
It was not in the brochure, but I enjoyed it. It was fine. As long as it comes back, I'm fine. But it's not hindering me from doing anything. It was a little weird typing when I was doing my work before, because I'm like, did I hit? It's hard if you have a numb finger trying to hit a key. You're like, it's a little weird.
I guess Frank won't be DJing. Wicka wicka.
Not with my right hand.
Let me ask you a question. How tempted were you to just pull that to just move to the left really quick and shoot the guy next to you? Did you get that feeling?
Kind of. I thought I was going to get hit because the people that were with me, like in the row, were not very hitting because there's a target and then all around it are stacks of like hay bundles.
Yeah.
And behind that is just a wooden wall. And every now and then you bang on the wall. The arrow just hitting the wall.
Whenever I do something like that or a shooting range, I always think, is somebody going to just turn and just shoot me? And then the next thought I have is, am I going to turn and shoot them?
I'm going to take them out before they take me out.
That's always my thought process. I don't know why, but I always have that feeling of like, am I going to turn and kill somebody right now? I don't even know.
Have you been to a shooting? I've never fired a gun.
Years ago.
Janine, you ever fired a gun?
Of course.
Yeah. Don't you go like often?
Yeah. What?
We talked about going together.
I would love to go.
We really should go shooting, but there's a very few places where if you don't have a gun, there's very few places you could go. And
Pennsylvania is easier to go to.
Pennsylvania. That's where I shot actually in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So,
Never fired a gun.
I mean, not that I know or anything.
I fear for your husband's life.
Right.
Then again, I fear for Frank's wife's life, the way he's swinging in his sleep too. So I'm concerned for both stresses.
I want to go to axe throwing.
I was just going to bring this up. The amount of, I'm close to one of the breweries out here, and they love doing the axe throwing thing, which seems so counterproductive.
That doesn't make it
drunk throwing axes
and hand them a sharp weapon.
But it's so popular. We should really go. You think we should go?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I kind of want to throw an axe.
You know what? It sort of became popular right before COVID, and then
yeah,
it was on the rise.
It threw a wrench.
When you're supposed to be thrown in, she's out. That's it.
We're all out. That's it. Should we?
Sign.
We've always been talking about doing a podcast activity. Maybe that'll be our first activity. We'll do
Okay.
It'd be fun. I'd love to do that. There's a place out by you, or any places not so far out by you.
Maybe
Good
we'll
luck.
do that. We'll see. I appreciate you guys watching and or listening, and JSABs for staying for as long as she did. My God, and not a yawn in there too.
Yeah, you were the first to yawn, man.
I know. Well, you guys were very boring this episode. I don't know if you noticed
I'll
that.
give you that.
I wasn't as fired up as I was.
You were so.
It's all
fired
friendly
up.
here. It's always friendly. Me and J-Sabs.
Can I tell you
would
something?
never- What?
I really had a discussion with my wife whether or not Janine was okay. Like I was really we had the talk.
From the last
You know
episode?
what? It really was. I was like, what did I do differently? And I'm like, I watched the news. And
It gets you
I
angry.
really have not watched it in forever. Like I don't even know how long.
What did you watch? Newsmax?
I think it was Channel 7. or 4.
Oh, local news? That's
Like
even
regular
worse.
news? Wow. That's not as bad as if you watch cable news, that'll get you even more fired up.
I don't have them.
How do you not have? You don't have?
We don't have that package.
You can't get any cable news? Isn't that
Nope.
like standard?
Yeah, they
Nope,
force that
it's
shit
not.
down your throat.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I
good
didn't
for
know
you.
you could do that.
exactly. So
I'm
It's
gonna.
like refusing delivery. Just, nope.
no
Yes.
thanks.
We're gonna have a conversation off air. I gotta figure out how you guys did that so I could do that because I don't want to run into that shit by accident.
Honestly.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Appreciate it as always. Let us know what ice cream you could pick. If you can only pick one, shopanthonyonair.com has links to the store. Get some merch for yourself. We really have to do it next show. I promise. We should start reading off all the people that are just donating to the show just to keep the show rolling. It really should.
Yeah, that'd be
That
fun.
would be a nice thing to do. So we'll do that. We're appreciative, but just don't count on actually getting the things.
Very appreciative.
We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much.